This old Wi-Fi camera. Many people would probably think it's only good for the trash. This is a common type of Wi-Fi camera, usually equipped with 2 to 3 external antennas for transmitting and receiving signals. Those antennas are exactly what I'm most interested in. To open it, I prepare a multi-bit screwdriver set. I choose a small Phillips head that fits perfectly with the screws on the bottom of the camera. Each screw is removed carefully. I don't rush, because the plastic threads inside can easily strip if too much force is applied. After removing all 4 screws, I use a thin plastic pry tool to separate the body from the base. Once the casing pops open, the circuit board inside is revealed along with the small wires directly connected to the rear antennas. This is the most important part of the entire process. Before working on the circuit board, I want to clean the old solder joints. I take a small plastic bottle cap and pour in a bit of 90% alcohol, just enough for cleaning. Using a cotton swab dipped in alcohol. I gently wipe around the solder points, especially the antenna connection area. After years of use, dust and oxidation can reduce electrical contact quality. Once the surface is clean and dry, I prepare 2 electrical wires, one red and one white. With wire strippers, I remove the insulation at the ends, exposing about 1 to 2 centimeters of copper core. These exposed ends will be soldered directly onto the circuit board. Now comes the crucial step: soldering. The soldering iron is fully heated. I apply a bit of solder to the tip to improve adhesion. Then place the wire core onto the exact signal pad where the original antenna was connected. Each solder joint is done firmly but precisely. Once finished, the 2 wires are firmly attached to the board. Next, I thread the wires through an empty hole under the camera base to route them outside. Then I reassemble the plastic casing just like before. Tighten the 4 screws. Now, this device is no longer a camera. It has become a frame that holds the antennas, and the 2 new wires are now our signal transmission line. Next, I take an old power plug. After removing the outer plastic shell, Inside are two thick copper prongs. Normally, they're used to carry 220 volts electricity. But here, I'm simply reusing the sturdy metal contacts. I connect the two wires from the camera to these copper prongs using a screwdriver. I tighten the screws firmly to ensure the wires don't come loose. Good contact will determine whether the signal remains stable. Then, I reassemble the plug casing. Now we have an antenna with an output that looks just like a standard power plug. But to connect it to a TV, I need a coaxial cable. This is the familiar black TV cable. I carefully use a utility knife to cut away the outer insulation. Inside is a silver-braided shielding layer and a solid copper core in the center. I separate the braided shielding to one side, keeping the copper core straight and unbent. On one end of the cable, I temporarily connect it to an old wall outlet socket where the homemade antenna plug will be inserted. On the other end, I install a standard F-type antenna connector. The copper core runs straight through the center, while the braided shielding is secured tightly around the threaded metal sleeve. Finally, I wrap yellow electrical tape around the connection to protect it and prevent short circuits. The signal transmission cable is now complete. Now comes the most exciting part. I turn on the TV. It's a Sony television. screen displays the message. No signal, exactly as expected. I bring the homemade antenna setup closer to the TV. I plug the coaxial cable into the cable antenna, pour it on the bag, and now, let's see what happens. After just a few seconds of channel scanning, a signal appears. The image gradually becomes clear. One channel shows up sharp and stable, no noise, no flickering. I switch channels continuously to test. Other digital channels begin appearing one by one. All of them display steadily. The no signal message is gone.
Rất là nhiều các bất thường của các cơ quan khác nhau trong cơ thể. Bệnh tim cũng mệt. Rất trồng là không có cái yếu tố độc hại ví dụ như là kim loại nặng, đặc biệt là không được sử dụng thuốc bảo vệ thực vật, phân bón vô cơ. Nguồn giống phải có nguồn gốc xuất xứ và tiêu chuẩn giống rõ ràng.
Sâm lai châu vốn là một trong những loại sâm điển hình đặc trưng của Việt Nam. Được phát hiện vào năm 2013 với giá trị sử dụng và giá trị kinh tế cao, cây sâm đã bị tìm kiếm, khai thác đến mức kiệt quệ, nhóm danh mục thực vật rừng, động vật rừng nguy cấp, quý hiếm cần được bảo.
Nè, mà mấy đứa đồng nghiệp của anh thì hãm. Nhưng mà người yêu đâu? Sao không gọi đưa đi?
Thôi làm gì có người yêu. Thành phố này làm gì có tình người. Đặt tính về quê.
Khiếp, sao mà bi quan thế?
Hôn sự Thiên Kim Cú Lục đại nhân, thân thể trồng trắng, sao để có thể nhìn qua được chứ?
Dạ phải.
Chuyện thái tử đừng trách. Còn không mau thỉnh tội đi.
Dạ.
From what seemed like a useless Wi-Fi camera, with just a few wires, an old plug, and a length of coaxial cable, we've created a functional TV signal antenna. The interesting part isn't just the result, it's the idea of repurposing old items in a completely new way. If you found this experiment interesting, leave a like and follow along to see what discarded item I'll transform into something useful next time.